Some of you actually stayed in character during your movies. Frank, you asked everyone on set to refer to you as Mr. President.
Yeah, not for. I've seen other actors do it in movies. I've never done it before, but in this movie, it occurred to me, if I didn't just stay the president the whole time when I got out of my trailer, I won't feel that intimidation that people feel around a president. I won't create that intimidation. So I did for 32 days. It was very lonely and very right for the character, because I just stayed the president. The minute I opened the trailer door and when I went back in.
Did you keep it going at home?
Yes, I did. Yes. Yeah, you'd be amazed what can happen.
Interesting.
Would you like to do a little something for your country, young lady?
I
what
think Frank
about
gets
you
the,
when you were 6 months old in Benjamin Button? Did you stay?
Oh, Jim. Fortunately, that was not me.
You had a different
But
challenge.
I think Frank gets the degree of difficulty award because he's taking on someone that's such a caricature, that so many caricatures have been done, and how you avoided slipping into caricature, and at the same time infused this, you gave the man humanity, I thought was quite an achievement.
Thanks.
And still a bit of a mystery to me, yeah.
A lot of you have talked about not judging your characters. I mean, you've talked about it about Nixon, I know, in a lot of interviews. You've talked about it with your character, that it's sort of an actor's law that you don't judge your character. But actually, I wanted to ask you, Brad, when you play a character like the one you did in Burn After Reading, is it hard not to judge a complete moron?
I swear to God, I'm going to die, and this is going to be the one I'm known for.
It's a wonderful performance. But, I mean, how do you not judge that character when you're playing farce? Do you not judge a character?
I don't know. I go by feeling, and this thing spoke to me. Somehow it represented the hubris of an America we've experienced in the last few years, and something I witnessed by growing up in a vacuum and wanted to play with it. It's not diabolical in any way. It just it's not devious. It's just short-sighted, inexperienced, and tunneled in its vision, and that was it, really.
Has Angelina still not seen that movie? You said
she has seen that one. In fact, it's probably the only one she's seen. For some reason, that was the one. She walked on set and she said, I was in the gym gear, and she said, and the hair, and she said, "This is the first time I can honestly say I'm not sexually attracted to you in any way whatsoever."
Well, your performance in The Wrestler, I mean, you just don't feel like you're acting.
It was painful.
I bet.
I was actually replaced, and I think I was the only one who was, this was early on, and they couldn't raise the money. I was the only one who was relieved. So like you said, you were talking about directors earlier and trust, and you got to have, for me, I got to have respect as well as trust. And because a lot of guys can talk a good game, and then they get on the floor and they fall to shit. And by the end of the week if that trust and that respect is going to grow, or you're going to have a hard time. And I think I was able. Darren is a guy that I met that, he did his homework. He like I was telling you, I think if you're not in shape for this guy, he's going to break you down. He's smarter than the rest of us, and he was smart because he had to get the most out of me by challenging me, and he just had to say 2 words, and that was enough. Then after I thought I gave it all to him, he'd say, "Bring it again." I said, "Fuck you! I want to get back to the bar."
You guys shot straight through, right? You had a horrendous schedule.
We had a bad schedule. Well, it was 7 months of putting the weight on, and 4 months of wrestling practice, and I can't pay you. And you're going to do everything I say, everything I tell you. Wow. You're not going to go at it here and there and then. You're never going to disrespect me in front of the crew, and I can't pay you. And I'm thinking he's real smart. He's got balls. But when I asked around about him, everybody I asked people whose opinion I could respect. It was very comparable to like Francis Coppola years when I had worked with him years ago on Mumblefish. It was the same kind of feedback. So it's if you do your homework, and a guy like that is okay to go to work with. Because
would
it
he
is.
set the scene, or would he follow you guys more? Would he let you guys?
There was really very little. He likes to say a lot was improvised, but some was. But basically, because we had a very low budget, and we shot the whole movie handheld. So when we did the wrestling scenes, they were actually having real wrestling events on, and we'd run in real quick with the camera. So I had to know my shit. My partner had to know the choreography, and we had maybe 3 takes before the next live bout was going to come on. And then there was all the pressure of having to pull it off in front of like 3,000 crazy wrestling fanatics. Yeah.
So lots of bumps and bruises?
Excuse me?
Lots of bumps and bruises.
Yeah, I had that was part of the reason I was happy when I got replaced, because, you sit across, I sat across from, I could say, a little prick, I sat across from him and I went, he's going to want my fucking blood. I knew it. I knew why he wanted me to do it, and I could smell it from him, and I gave it to him, and I only gave it to him because I respected him, And it was for me. It was interesting because it's been way over 10 years since I just gave everything to anybody, that much, and it was a good feeling at the end of the day. I'd forgotten what it felt like,
It feels really good when someone comes up to you and they just say, "Show me what you got. I'll know what to do with it." And you know that there is weight behind that.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Well, for us to get the approval from the old school wrestlers from the '80s, like Ric Flair, Brutus Beefcake, all these guys, they all came to the premiere, and we were nervous because we wanted their approval, and then Rowdy Piper started crying. And we thought, okay, we did our job.
I had his action figure when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. Yeah, he's all right.